Artlist.io.
Ta ló kù níta èsì fíìmù lórí èsì fíìmù ta ló kù níta mò ń sọ. Ẹ dákun ẹ ń gbàgbé. Báwo sọ? Náà aláwa tí àwọn dírẹ́fà sọ pé àwọn tí à ń jẹ nǹkan sínú mọ́tò wọ́n jẹ́ kó wá wípé báskẹ̀tì wà ní ẹ̀yìn káwọn jù síbẹ̀ ṣe ti gbọ́ ẹ má jẹ́ àjùlẹ̀ lẹ́nu o. Ọlọ́run sọ.
We headed for Mount Sinai. Now, I think the trip from Cairo to Red Sea was about 3 to 4 hours. And then I was hoping that this is going to be another just 3 hours journey and, tops 4 hours. And we keep going and going and going and going and going and going. Unfortunately, we didn't actually get there until I think we left Cairo around 10 a.m. and we didn't get to Mount Sinai until around 10 to 9 p.m. That was unbelievable. And the trip was so narrow, the road was so narrow, and we got so much delay with different kind of checkpoints. I'm not really sure why there was so much security on the way, but over time when I actually made my research, I realized that there was this 6 days war between Israel and Egypt, which Israel won the war, and it took most of these places that we actually traveling at the moment. And so I think the security consciousness actually came about from that war, because the security was actually, we had almost like 15 checkpoints, and at some point in time we had an escort that took us from each checkpoint to another escort picks from there till we get to Mount Sinai. And I don't think the road was really risky. I don't think there are robbers on the highway, robbers and all, but I think the security consciousness was actually high, and which is good for me. I think it's good, especially for we foreigners. They wouldn't want to give us the bad impression about their country, and it was, at long run, it was actually fun.
Hi guys, it's about a couple of minutes after 5, and I think we're about an hour and a half close to the Mount Sinai. So we were told we need to, I think we're taking another break. Yes, we're taking another break. So we were advised to prepare ourselves for the environment, because it's going to be it's freezing than any other place. So I was being told beforehand. So I have like 3 different kind of clothes. I have my cardigan, and I have another jacket. So just to protect myself from the cold. So I'm actually I just can't wait to actually witness to see the mountain, and to see how it goes. And I was told we're gonna be having about like how many steps? How many steps? 750 steps. Wow. So it's about like 750 steps to the hill, and I think I'm gonna try to actually climb to the last step. So we're gonna see how that goes. I was told it's really stressful, and but for me it's an adventure, and I really love to experience it. And like I said, when I was at the Red Sea, we have different intentions of coming. Some came here for prayers, some came for just tourism. So I think I'm coming for both. The tourism aspect and also the spiritual aspect about it. Just pray and see how the new year goes. As an African person, you have to be conscious about your spiritual life and spiritual growth and how you grow and everything. So we've been very, very, we've been brought up to be conscious of things like that. So right now we're on another break, and this is going to be the last break to when we get to Mount Sinai. So right now we are the Asian part of Egypt. We actually cross from the African part of Egypt to Asian part of Egypt, and which we are more closer to Israel than any other country. And in fact, I was told that we can literally see Israel from where we will be from the Mount Sinai. So those are things I really want to see and see how beautiful it is. And it's at dusk, so I believe it's going to be beautiful with the lights and everything. So stick around and let's see what's going to happen. I'm anticipating. I'm just hoping to see how it's going to be. So we'll see. We'll see how it's going to be.
But the downside of the trip actually started when I actually got to Mount Sinai, because I was expecting to, to I actually saw everything I wanted, really. I actually saw everything I wanted, and but the downside actually came. But before I go on with my story, please kindly subscribe, like, and drop comment about it. And for those who might actually want to go embark on this trip, you might really want to stick around and take one or two advices about, traveling to Egypt and going for the Red Sea and Mount Sinai trip. It's a lifetime thing. It's worth it really at the long run. But I felt a little bit bad about when I actually got to Mount Sinai. Man, we finally made it to Mount Sinai. It's a very, very long journey. It's about 12 to 13 hours journey. Then go to the break. I just don't know if anyone will survive that straight trip without intervals or breaks. hmm But it's really good anyway. So I'm about to step down right now to get prepared for the journey, and I'm gonna carry you guys along and see how it goes. And I'm really, really sure it's good. This is gonna be adventurous, and it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be memorable. So stick around. Let's have fun together, and let's see how this goes. Okay. Monsignor was a great place. I had no problem about the place. It was a beautiful hill, and I'll tell you about the journey to the hill, because I actually made it to the top of the hill, and that is about. I'm not sure about the feet of the hill, but I actually made it to the top of the hill, and that's another story for another day. But still, stick around and listen, and stick around and enjoy my journey. So when we got to Mount Sinai, we alighted from the bus, obviously. Àwọn kìnìún là. O wà pẹ̀lú wọn ni. Okay, pápá ni wọn. So, just for notice, before climbing the mountain, you should come with some goodies, you know, like I have my water, but this is lemon water is medicinal. I have my biscuit, I have my powerhouse for energy in case I want to break down at the middle of the journey. So just get yourself prepared, and most importantly, make sure you're putting on stuff that can actually withhold the temperature or of the current season. You know, those things are very, very important because it's going to be a very, very long journey. How many weeks? How many hours journey? You know?
3 hours.
About 3 hours journey. Wow, it's about 2 to 3 hours, and that is a long one. That is 2 to 3 hours up.
Yes.
Wow, that's gonna be like two.
Same thing when coming down.
And same thing when you're coming down. That's about 6 hours up and down. Wow. I don't know what to say really. I just can't wait to actually enjoy the experience and see how it goes. So I can't say much at the moment right now. I have got my right of course, you know. So we needed to wait for a couple of minutes so as to make some checks, you know. I don't know the name right now, but there's this check that we have to go through. Maybe
Artlist.io. Music licensing.
so. After we did that, we headed for the mountain, but we got to Mount Sinai very, very late. It was dark, and where we're going is rocky, stone everywhere, rocks everywhere. We needed to be very, very careful of our steps. So this is where the pain actually started from. Okay.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
So at some point in the journey, it was so very, very dangerous and risky because we needed to be very, very conscious of every of our steps. This basically was my first time of actually being on the street, and I have never been there before, you know. So let me backtrack a little. So when we were about to head for the mountain, so we were actually being divided into groups. So we have a guide that was with us, who actually guided us through the mountains. So it was the dangerous thing about it is just that I think we only had one or two guards, and most of the guards were actually far far ahead of us, and we just needed to follow the touch, the little touch we had, you know, and then every other thing was on our own call. So we needed to be extra careful, and the road to the hill was very, very steep and narrow. I have never ever experienced anything so 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 narrow as much as that. Hello? Hey. So I've never actually seen a road that is so very, very steep and narrow. It's like watching an Arab movie, and not just the recent Arab movie, like the old Arab movie, like watching the Jesus days movies, the Christ movies in the days, like the way they move around in the mountain, and it describes how the Israelite actually move within the mountain and survive. And historically, this particular Mount Sinai is was 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 a hill that that Abraham that Moses, okay, is the this particular hill or mountain is the mountain that Moses actually go to pray when he was actually when he was actually with the Israelites. Now, there's this story about him making that mountain, going to that mountain almost like 7 times in a day. I don't see how that is possible from my own angle, because this is about like to the journey to the mountain is about 3 hours to the mountain and about like 2 hours down. That is about 5 hours. So it's like you making like 5 times 7 within 24 hours. Like, when he goes to the mountain, is he not going to relax for a while, then calm down? I know the kind of the health way back, according to what they say, the health way back is far better off than us, and they were more stronger. But I don't see how logical that can happen. But that's not the essence of this vlog. But so let me go back to the trip. So we needed to watch our steps, watch every steps as we move. It was a stage to another stage. Like uh, uh, like 100 feet to 200 feet. So at some point, we get to a particular stairs, and the stairs was called 650 stairs to the hill. I was dumbfounded. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Are we, after all this journey, we are going to make another 650 stairs to the hill? But unfortunately, I was far beyond the middle of the journey, so I couldn't go back. So we summoned courage, and we decided to head for the 750. Now, the 750 is the most dangerous part of it all. I thought the one that I was having, I thought the ones we were actually having was kind of risky, but this particular stairs was I think the stairs was back from ages, and I don't think anybody has actually done any repair. I think the stairs was has been like that way it has been way back. So stepping on those stones is like stepping on stones from years back, from 100 years back. So I think every stone was kind of historical. You understand, and also spiritual. So we did the best we could, and we made it to the hill. Now,
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
getting to the hill was another story entirely. The weather temperature on the hill was fucking, I'm sorry using the F word, but it was extremely freezing. I actually, it's like losing my toes and my fingers. Both my toes, my fingers were burning and they were numb. This was unbelievable. I never actually had this kind of experience before in my life. I have never been in this kind of freezing situation. I couldn't even bring out my phone. It was really unbelievable. I wasn't expecting that much. You understand? Like, what the hell is going on? But at some point, I needed to do my job, though it was pitch black. That is another problem. It was pitch black. We needed to, you know, you know, uh, see clearly by some little touch, and so I think, and we were fortunate to have those who have actually been at the mountains before, so they knew ahead of us, so they bought some touch downstairs, and so we needed to use the torch, to see where we were stepping at, and it was so risky. We didn't have any barricade, nothing to lean on. You're all by yourself. So, like I said, we got to the top of the mountain, and it was really, really historical. Really, it was memorable. So I couldn't really do more because it was basically freezing and pitch black, but I was able to cover um, the mosque. And okay, I saw two structures. There was a mosque, and also there was um, there was a church. Now, I don't really know the historical background of the church, but I heard about the mosque, that this is where Moses pray each time he comes to the mountain. So the mountain is basically a special place for him where he prays. He feels that each time he goes to the mountain, he's far uh, from distraction from the people who are the Israelites, which is general. and understandable. So I think according to the Bible or Quran, there was a significant symbol that made him decide to choose this particular hill, this particular mountain, because there are several different kind of mountains around there, and you can see it, but I couldn't capture it like I said. So, so he made that particular place um, a praying point. So he prays is the kind of place that he connects with God, and he connects with God. So he built a mosque and where he prays. Now I'm not sure who built the church, you understand, but I think I don't know. I don't know if Moses can be a Muslim and a Christian at the same time. So I don't know where both ideas actually came from. So I actually had the opportunity to capture um, how how the mosque looks like, and I have a couple of friends who are Muslims who are also praying, and to my surprise, the church was not opened. Reason I'm not sure. I wasn't sure why that was open, why it wasn't open, but the Christians actually leaned towards the church and started praying. So when the freezing got out of hand, we needed to actually leave the hill and then start heading back to where we're coming from. So that was way, way back. So now you have to understand that we have to make, excluding the 750 stairs, now we have to make 750 stairs back and the other stairs back to our base where we will converge and take a bus and go back to Cairo. Now that was another crazy one, which I'm going to be telling you in a moment. But before I go further, please kindly subscribe, like, and drop a comment. And if you think this is something where we can actually learn from each other. I don't really have the full story about how the Mount Sinai actually came about, but I have an idea, so you can actually chip in into one or two. And those who might actually be willing to um, make a trip to Mount Sinai, I think you have to be very, very cautious of time. You have to be at Mount Sinai. I think I would prefer a daytime to be at Mount Sinai, so I can actually see vividly. Aside from the fact that I really wish to actually make a video documentation, it's less risky seeing where your stair, while you're climbing up, your stairs. While you're climbing up, you're climbing down. You have to be, you need to see what you're actually doing. So, and now the funniest part of it is just that I don't think they've actually recorded any death on that mountain, and I don't think they've actually recorded any injury. I don't think so. I've never actually heard of any stories like that. So that's for that. So we needed to head back to where we're coming from. So while we headed up, we actually saw some shelter on the long run. And this shelter, you can actually buy stuff. You can buy snacks. You can buy, coffee, which is way, way expensive. So this is another thing. When you're going up, you need to hold enough cash. And if you know you don't have enough cash, please kindly make sure you have your own supplies, so that you won't be buying at an outrageous price when you get to those shelters. But now the surprising things about these shelters is just that the design in the shelters looks like the design way back in those movies we see.
£3,000.
يا راجل خرف مصري قربت انجليزي ليه؟
كثيرين.
Artlist.io.
Get down in the car, one time give it all, bust it open hard, let me see you drop. Get down in the car, one time give it
Music licensing reimagined.
I fucked up this Russell, yeah, we hustle. What the, oh my. I fucked up this Russell, yeah, we hustle. What the, oh my. Where's my guys? Know that they fly, know that they ride or die.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
One time give it all, bust it open hard. Let me see you try. I fucked up this Russell, yeah, we hustle. What the, oh my. Wait on my side, TJ, I roll with, I fucked up this Russell, yeah, we hustle. What the, oh my.
Artlist.io.
Where's my guys? Know that they fly, know that they ride or die. Get down in the car, one time give it all, bust it open hard. Let me see you try. Get down in the car, one time give it all, bust it open hard.
Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io.
It's like they were untouched. You understand, for so many years. You know, it's been designed in that same way, which I like and which is good for tourism also. So we needed to relax in there, and we had some coffee, and what else? We needed just some time. So I think we relaxed for about an hour, and in fact, some people were already dozing, some people were already sleeping. So we needed to wake everybody up. Then we headed back.
Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined. Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
If I gotta do it, I'ma do the most. Since they paid to see a show, got the South overflow, yeah. If I gotta do it, I'ma do the
Artlist.io.
most. Watching me to take no, raise a toast to the goat, yeah. Body be dripping in Fendi, part of my nose with that fancy. Money on me, I got plenty. Hundreds, 50s, and 20s. Stage set, lot of them. Rag, house by the lake, bought that. Ops to the brakes, draw back. Paddock on my wrist, I'ma hit 'em
Music
with a picture. They gon' make the
licensing
VIP,
reimagined.
pick with me, I'm a star.
So while we headed back, so we met some tourists who are whites, and I wouldn't say they are white. I said just they're just of different race, but I'm sure they were not Egyptians. So we saw them, and we actually saw the camel ride in action. Now the camel ride in action is, for me, is very risky because the hills are way too high for me, and I just don't see myself. I just don't see myself on a camel looking down. That is going to be very risky. I think I have phobia for that. I don't think I really have phobia for heights, but at the same time, it doesn't really make sense for me. But some people, use the camel ride, to reduce the distance, and for those who can actually, go all the way to the mountain. So that was that, and the journey down was something else. It was really something else. We were actually hoping we are gonna be at the base, and we just keep going and we keep going and we keep going and we keep going and keep going. But eventually, we made it down, and we made it to the bus, and we headed back to Cairo. It was fun, and and I had the opportunity to also pray, you know, just do like those who has been going, and there has been testimony that good things are happening, So I'm waiting for my testimonies also, because I did pray, and I, you know, pray to God things I want for 2023. So, which I am hoping. I have faith that something good is definitely going to happen for sure. And that's for that for my trip. So for my vlog, there are great things that's going to be coming up very soon. Like I said, I'm going to be going out more, and going to places. I'm going to be going to some. I think I'm still going to head to Pyramid, and see how that place looks like, and bring to you guys and see how bring to you guys the intensity and in real time, and what else. So that was it. It was stressful, it was painful, but it's really worth it. But so now, for anybody who really wants to, you know head for this kind of journey, um before I go to that stage, please kindly subscribe, like, and drop a comment. So if you're going to Mount Sinai or Red Sea, please be very cautious, and also be mindful of things you take along, and make sure that, I think you should. I don't like traveling in a lot of luggage, and going with a lot of, travel lights. Travel light is definitely going to help you. Travel light, yes, especially when you get to the hill, so it's going to be easy for you to, for your mobility and all like that. So uh be cautious of the season, if you're going in the summer or in the winter, so you can know the kind of outfit. And also you have to be very very sure, you have to be very very careful of your footwear, so it's not that kind of footwear that is going to be slippery. And what else? Also, you have to uh, your supplies. You have make sure that you're living with enough supplies so that you won't end up paying outrageous price for things you can actually get for something very very cheap. And what else? Just get yourself ready for something adventurous and interesting. So that's my that's how the journey went, and I definitely enjoyed it, and I love it. And thank God that I have actually been working out, so I didn't really feel much pains when I got back. You know, my wife was actually still feeling the pains. I think it's been 3, 4, 5 days now, and she's still feeling the pains. And I still have some couple of friends who are still complaining to me that they're still feeling the pains on their thighs, their legs, and their backs. But I'm good, so I think um, the workout actually helps. So this is why fitness is also good. That's some kind of moral of the lesson. Fitness is good, exposure is good, So living good entails fitness and eating healthy. So that was that. It was a crazy hiking, but I enjoyed. So for now, this is gonna be end of my vlog. I hope you enjoyed my narration and all. So um, like I said, like, follow, drop a comment, and stick around and on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to actually know when I post a new video. So see you for now, and have a blessed new year. Bye.
Artlist.io